So this morning as I was walking my dog, I stumbled upon a little golden butterfly confetti thing that normally you see on like the tables of like a party, right? Like birthday party, something like that. Um, and as I was, as I stumbled upon it, there was a song playing at like this restaurant. Um, in front of it, underneath my building, and it was a song that's like, L is for the way you look at me. You know that one, the love song. And I was just like, why is God's timing so perfect, so divine? Just, I don't know. And I'm sharing this video because if you have never encountered a synchronicity, or you always like hear that word, like, what is a synchronicity? I want to explain this. So when I first started my spiritual journey, I had no idea what synchronicities were, right? When you have your spiritual awakening, because everybody's not awake out here. We're still doing the work to make sure that everybody is awakened. But as I started my spiritual journey, butterflies just became so prevalent like in my life. They were everywhere. Anytime I needed like a sign and didn't even know it, it would just float by, just flutter by and stop time in that moment for me to just kind of be with God and the universe. And they've always been there, right? So, and butterflies have never been my thing initially, but throughout my spiritual journey, they definitely have. Like, they've been everywhere. So, still to this day, 7 years in, I will get so overwhelmed with emotion and feel so heard and so seen whenever I see a butterfly, because at this point in my journey, I've gotten used to, just being mindful of my thoughts, mindful of my surroundings and things like that. So whenever I am encountering a synchronicity or receiving a sign from the universe, I notice the thought that I was thinking right before I saw it, or the thought that I was thinking as I'm seeing the sign, right? I hope that makes sense. So before I started recording this, I asked God, I was like, what do you want me to talk about in this video? And I think that what the biggest thing he wants me to convey in this message is, or like the realization that I had is like, just because I have been on my spiritual journey for years doesn't mean that people are not still awakening in this moment. Doesn't mean that people are not still going along a similar journey and encountering things where they feel unsure of themselves. They feel like, what is going on? Because comment below if you're still at this point of watching it, if when you went on your spiritual journey you thought you were crazy. Every single time I've had a spiritual awakening, I thought I was going absolutely insane, losing my whole mind. Depending on what you experienced during that time, it can feel like a lot. And during the holidays, there are a lot of people who go through, different emotions and things like that, and it is a very sensitive time. So this video really is just a synchronicity and sign that I think God is using me in this moment to be a sign to you that everything is okay. Don't allow the confusion to deter you from the actual totality of the journey. I can say on my journey, I have been hospitalized spiritually. I have been in very, very dark places, and I do want to share with you that there is light on the other side. We don't go through a spiritual awakening for it to look like rainbows and butterflies, and we have to remind one another when we are in the darker moments that it's okay to be in the dark, because that's how we learn to shine our light. And so this video really is just kind of like a reminder and a check-in to anyone who is on their journey, that it does get better, it gets lighter, it gets easier. It's not so much, I remember like feeling like, dang, like it's test after test after test after test. It's like year after year of just crumbling and not being able to get my feet up and like stand on solid ground. Of course, everybody's journey is different, but I want you to know that just because your journey doesn't look like what you anticipated it to look like doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong or that it's not going according to plan. Because even this morning, or over like the last couple of days, really, I always have very intense dreams, and I didn't realize how intense they would get as I would dive deeper into my spiritual gifts and go along this journey of awakening. But like even this morning, I woke up and I saw a shadow walk into my mirror. So, and guess what I did? I flipped my little self over and went right back to sleep. Because I have to remind myself that this is just a part of the journey. I have to remind myself that God is not going to allow me to experience anything that is too big for me. God is not going to put me in a position in which I cannot endure. God is not going to allow anything to harm me, because it cannot. And at the end of the day, we're so much stronger than all that we endure. We just have to remind ourselves that you're not your mind. You're not the thoughts in your mind. You are not the fears that you have or hold. Like, none of that. So, just a reminder, just a little PSA. Please comment below what are some of the things that you are experiencing. And I would love to just start almost like a safety, like a little safety group for people going through their journey, because I don't really feel like we have that. Like throughout my whole journey, my community was just watching and trying to like listen to readings online and have and find and search for the synchronicities, but I didn't really have people who were going through the same things that I was. So it did make it pretty difficult for me to navigate. And so I want to kind of create just a community of people, even if it's just through TikTok, of us being able to connect with one another and share our stories and, you know, just be that support system for one another. Because when you're in the thick of it, you are in the thick of it. And I would hate to have not shared this video, especially if it helps someone, and be able to, you know, just connect with a soul who is in need of a sign. So thank you for allowing me to be your sign. Thank you, God, for choosing me to endure this journey and have gifts to be able to connect with others who are like-minded, aligned spiritually. And yeah, just comment below. Let me know. We're here. We're strong. We're gonna make it. Okay? We got this. We got this. We got this. We got this.